Alright, so we're close to the submarine now, and what you see over there, this tower, is a memorial for, the German soldiers and Navy soldiers that died in World War II and not anybody else affected. It's kind of representing the top towers on a submarine. And here's Mrs. Merkel. We got election tomorrow. I already elected. I did postal election, so I'm not stressed. And right over there to our left, you should see it any second, there is an old German World War II submarine. ww2. I don't know if we can get on. Would be freaking cool if we could. Looks like it's closed, sadly. Yeah. Dang, man, I would have loved to get in there. Oh no, it's not closed. I think it's open. Oh, we have to go across. Get tickets. Can we get in? Yep. Probably. You can see it boarded in July 1943 and survived the war actually. I think it was damaged and then they brought it back, but it never left again. That's really, really cool. You know, wolf packs. German submarines, the bane of the Royal Navy back in World War II. On top there you can see anti-air guns. See that? Right there on top. Pretty dang cool. Yeah. Definitely have to try to get inside. I want to see that. Let's try to get tickets. Here's more of the technical data. It says length 67 meters, width 6 meters, draft about 5 meters. Maximum diving operational depth was 120 meters, and that was determined by construction, but actually it went on 240 meters during combat. 70 knots above surface, so pretty fast. About 44 to 52 man crew, 5 torpedo tubes, like 4 in the front, 1 in the back, and it has the anti-aircraft guns. Two bigger ones and a smaller one right there, as I showed you on top there. Pretty cool. Did you see the movie Das Boot? German war movie? If not, you should. Pretty cool movie. Dive! Dive! On the outside there you can see the air tanks. That bulky thing there. That's ballast. Pretty much. They fill and empty them to go up and down to dive. Pretty cool. Alright, Lars is getting tickets, we're going inside. Alright guys, we're going into the submarine. Look at that. Why is there spikes on top? To get birds off? Super solid walls. Don't smoke, they say. Alright. Wow. Claustrophobic for sure. Oh, okay. Here we can see one torpedo hull, that's on the back side. And tubes and stuff all over the place. Look at that, that's a torpedo hull. Wow. So cool. Old gauges. And there's pipes and things everywhere. Look at that, I think. Wow. So cool. I think that the engines... Oh yeah, look here. What is that? Wow. Ah, yeah. Those are the electric motors. Here's batteries. Those are, you know, if you want to drive silently. Manufacturer. Gauges of all sorts. Wow. 2 engines here. Those are the electric engines, as I said. Wow. It's pretty cool to be in here. Look at that. It's a nice shot. This is the engine compartment, engine room. And you always have these hatches, you know, if there's a breach, a water breach, you can seal off certain areas. And in here, it was insanely loud. These are the 2 diesel engines. You know, super loud. Right here, the engine's right next to you. Can you imagine how loud it would be in here? And those 2 things are hammering. Obviously, everything was painted a bit. Don't know if this is original color. Wow. Yeah, here it says it has 2 6-cylinder 4-stroke diesel engines, each 1,400 horsepower. Yeah. And they had 113 metric tons of diesel stored max. Wow. All kinds of gauges and wheels and things. Super interesting, man. Sadly, I'm no U-boat expert. I know a little bit. Oh, here, yeah. This is the starting throttle, pretty much. You can see it says stop up here. It says anlassen. That means start, and that means operating. Betrieb. Here are temperature gauges, and look at that. This is everybody knows this. You know, it says maximum ride forward, big ride, half length, kleine Fahrt, diesel engine, and then stop, loading, and there's backwards here. This is for going back. And here you can see the rotations, mean rotations per minute. And this is for the other side. Red, green, also temperature gauges here. That says fresh air. And yeah, here's probably the engineer was standing, operating. Pretty sure they had, I don't see any communications in here, but I'm pretty sure they had that too, radio in here, you know, board communications. Main valve here, and all kinds of valves and things. What is that? Wow. Okay, this is air in and out. Wow, so cool. Alright, and here, yeah, this is actually the cooking area. Super small. The cook was in here preparing meals for 56 people. Wow, so cool. What's back here? There's a toilet in there. See? A little toilet. Wow. And here probably some storage and stuff for cooking materials. And then we come in here. Some of the team quarters, they had this little wooden compartments here on top, and it's very narrow. When I'm standing up, I have to bow down all the time. And here it says, okay, yeah, here are some of the commanders were staying, not the captain though, but yeah. some higher ups. The other crew members, was considered luxury. They even have little fold-up tables here they could use. Very, very cool. Look at that. And then there's super small hatch here to go through. Let's film in. Wow. Check that out, guys. So cool. And here's a huge lever to kind of seal everything. And it's this massive airlock here. Big airlock. And then, you know, to move quickly in here, people would hold on up here and then just swing through and move quickly. For me, I have to really squeeze through here. Alright. Here's more of the operating. I think, what is that? Some pressure gauges and things here. And you have these all over the place. You have tons of valves and things. So certainly it was not easy to operate a ship like that. Now it needed highly educated crews. Look at that. All kinds of valves. I think those are stabilizers you would use, you know, to balance out the ship. And there it says it's cooling liquid pump. And this is there it says Frischwassererzeuger, so this is to create fresh water from seawater, actually. Wow. So cool. Here, echolode. This is sonar, pretty much. Sonar, depth detection. Look at that. Wow. So cool. And here, yeah, here's where the captain would be, the commander, and you could talk into these tubes and go like, hello, hello, you know, in case of electronics communication breaks down, you have tubes to shout through. And here, this leads up, sadly it's locked up, but this leads up towards the tower. You can see the main hatch on top there. And yeah, here of course, periscope. You would watch in there and scan for enemy ships. The degrees up there, you know, and then you would go like enemy spotted around this and this, and then, you know, torpedoes. Also you can see here's speed meters again, and this is the depth meter actually, Tiefenmesser. Right, and it would tell you how much water you have under the ship. And I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, and here shows you the angle of the depth rudder. So it's pretty impressive. Yeah, and it says here is the front. This is the brain of the ship. It says here. So. Yeah, commando. Once again, you have these little things. It's a super tiny hatch. Jesus Christ. Barely can fit through here. And look at that. This is the radio room where all the communication would take place. Look at that. So cool. Here you have a little Morse thingy. Wow. And then this is also very interesting. It's called Hochraum, or listening room. This is where people would, you know, scout for ships and enemy submarines and whatnot, and try to locate them in case the submarine is chased by destroyers or so. They would listen here. And yeah, you can also sit down here. This is pretty much the important areas. Here, the central command area pretty much, and then navigation and radio and listening. And probably around here there's some more areas to sit down as well. And here is also some bunk beds again, very short. This is probably, I would say, 1 meter 50 long, tops 160 and very, very narrow. I could never fit in there. And yeah, okay, here the lieutenants pretty much would stay. Lieutenants would sleep in here. And yeah, once again, those bunk beds are really, really short and tiny. Here's probably some additional storage behind that. And oh yeah, it's locked. Lavatory here. Once again, little think. Wow. And then we come in here, and here you see more quarters for others. This was up to 27 men lived in here, and here you can see a torpedo, actually massive. That thing is at least, yeah, 6-8 meters long. And yeah, up to 27 men lived in here on these bunk beds. Obviously they were working in shifts, you know. Some were sleeping, some were on duty, some coat hangers or whatever. And this is the loading mechanism for the torpedo here. It's hung up with chains like that, and you could yeah, raise and lower that. And then you have the main torpedo hulls here in the front. Hull 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this one actually has yeah, demilitarized torpedo loaded. Yeah. And then the captain would locate a ship, and then you would get the command, fire the torpedo, and then you would hammer this. This is to the safety, take the safety off, and then you would hammer on there. Torpedo would launch. Wow, this is so cool. Or would you fire up front here? Let me see. Super tiny to get in here. Ah, okay. Yeah, with that you would, yeah, you could control and steer the torpedoes, you know. You would adjust the speed and trim for them, and then you'd fire them up front here somewhere, I suppose. Wow, this is cool. Let me turn around, give you a look back through the ship. So cool. Then it leads outwards again, and we're right here at the front of the ship again. There you can see the rudders to control the ship. This is the view back. Oh, that was cool, man. Fascinating. Dang, super cool. Yeah, so always when I do stuff like that, I get get emotional, I have to say, because I always imagine, no, it's cool from a technical standpoint, but you always have to imagine what these things were built for, and imagine if you're in there in a war. Couldn't have been a nice experience. Lots of young people, you know, died for no reason in boats like that. And also other people, they hunted. I mean, what they were doing the wolf pack strategy, several submarines together, and this specific submarine was hunting for Allied convoys in the Skagerrak, also hunting for Russian ships. So yeah, pretty cool. I've never been to one of those submarines before. It was very, very fascinating. Hope you enjoyed the tour too.